Because the last time Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu visited me, I was in Akko Legislative Quarters. He has not been to this place. How will he send you to me that you will know this place? And he said, well, if I want to get you, all I need to get is get Rauf. I said, okay, hold on. So I called Rauf. I said, look, this man is here. Rauf said, yes, please attend to him. Give him everything he wants. I was instrumental to the confirmation of Emefiele as the chairman, as the governor of Central Bank. And guess what? Because at that time, there were enough votes to kill his nomination. If I tell you the who is who of the Nigerian Senate who are opposed to Emefiele, you'll be shocked. But we got him confirmed. It wasn't easy. We got him confirmed. When Buhari now became president, we were quartered in Hilton Hotel. Again, I don't know how he knew my room. Even he came to my room, he was shaking like jellyfish. I said, what's wrong? He said, Egbon, they are after me. Ah, who are after you? He mentioned them. And he mentioned how much he had given these people who were after him. So I said, so why are you telling me? Go and tell the police. He said, I cannot tell the police. I said, if you cannot tell the police, it means you have done something wrong. If they're after you, as governor of Central Bank, the Nigerian police owes you a duty to protect you. If they are after you, what will I do to protect you? He said, I just want you to know in case anything happens to me. I said, you're a fool. You mustn't let anything happen to you. You must tell. And I will tell. He said, don't tell. That evening, I went to Rauf. And I told Rauf. Rauf said, this is not what I can handle. You must go to Asiwaju. I said, no. I don't want to go to Asiwaju. If Asiwaju gets angry and calls a press conference, the whole thing will blow. He said, no. I said, look, I don't want to get into it. If anything happens, Asiwaju has resources to protect himself. I'm an orphan. I don't have a father. I don't have a mother. I don't want anything to happen to me. Anyway, Asiwaju said, in that case, let's go and tell Baba Kande. So we went to Baba Kande. I went to Baba Kande. Baba Kande said, this is too much. We must tell Asiwaju. So I said, okay. Before we tell Asiwaju, let's get him not to be angry. This thing doesn't require gra-gra. Otherwise, they might kill Emefiele.
Who are those after him?
I cannot.
Are they politicians?
3 of them are politicians, yes.
They were after him. Were they in government at the time?
My friend, they were politicians and they were extorting him. You've not heard of the story. So we decided to go and tell Buhari. It was the very weekend that Buhari was sworn into office. So Chief Akande and I went to Buhari. We got there, we met the governor of Niger State. His first day in office, he hadn't moved to the villa at that time. He was still in that holding place. I was the first person that spoke to Buhari when he resumed duty as president. And I told him the story. He said, how many people had we told? We didn't tell him that we had told Asiwaju and that we had told Rauf. I said, look, this is the only man I've told.
This was in 2015?
Yes. I said 2 days after I became president. We saw him 2 days previously at the Eagle Square. 2 days was this. The following day were all kind of parties and receptions.
It was May 31.
Yes. So we went to him. So he said, okay, I'm asking you one favor. Don't tell anybody. And we promise we won't tell anybody. We left him to go out. And they allowed Chief Akande to pass. And they said, I cannot go. I said, why couldn't I go? He said, the president wants to see me again. Hey. I said, I don't enter trouble. I went back to the president. What have I done that you allowed Chief Akande to go and you didn't allow me to go? And he said, you came and told me this story. I said, yes. He then said, what did I tell you? I said, you told me and Chief Akande not to tell anybody. He said, good, you remember, you can go. I said, no, I'm not going. What you are saying by implication is that if this story broke out, you will hold me responsible. Abba, that's not fair. And he said, let me tell you why. I believe the story would not leak from Chief Akande. That's what he told me. He said, because Chief Akande had been governor. He had been deputy governor. He had been secretary to government. Chief Akande knows how to hold state secrets. He said, you're a top professor. He said, I don't want this thing to leak. Well, the story never leaked from me. Now I'm telling the whole world. But 1 year went, nothing happened to these people. 2 years went, nothing happened to these people. 3 years went, nothing happened to these people. In fact, one of them was, his profile was rising in the polity. So one day I went to him, as his own re-election was coming. I booked an appointment to see him. And I saw him, I said, look, Baba Daura, there's something I don't understand about you. On the first day you started this job, I brought this report to you.
Just for a moment. We have been due for a break, but I didn't want to break your line of thought. That's why I've not got into it.
Okay.
But when we come back from the break, I'd like you to continue on that thought. But of course, Channel Television would like to indemnify ourselves from any libelous or defamatory utterances that may have come out of this conversation from anyone whose name has been mentioned. Anyone who has contrary view to what has been said on the program tonight has an open door opportunity to speak their mind. But we'll be back after this break, everyone. Join us again. We're in the home stretch of the program. Professor Olushola Adeyeye has been speaking with us. Former senator, former chief whip of the Nigerian Senate, and a one-time member of the House of Representatives. May I forget that you are also a local government chairman.
Yes, I was.
A long list of what we plan to discuss, but it appears that a lot of issues have now, overtaken that. I'd like you to summarize and conclude on. A lot of Nigerians would like to know how that ended, because when you are mentioning President Tinubu in the same statement with Emefiele, this is the government that is prosecuting that man.
You can go. I said, no, I'm not going. What you are saying by implication is that if this story broke out, you will hold me responsible. Abba, that's not fair. And he said, let me tell you why. I believe the story would not leak from Chief Akande. That's what he told me. He said, because Chief Akande had been governor. He had been deputy governor. He had been secretary to government. Chief Akande knows how to hold state secrets. He said, you're a top professor. He said, I don't want this thing to leak. Well, the story never leaked from me. Now I'm telling the whole world. But 1 year went, nothing happened to these people. 2 years went, nothing happened to these people. 3 years went, nothing happened to these people. In fact, one of them was, his profile was rising in the polity. So one day I went to him, as his own re-election was coming. I booked an appointment to see him. And I saw him, I said, look, Baba Daura, there's something I don't understand about you. On the first day you started this job, I brought this report to you.
Just for a moment. We have been due for a break, but I didn't want to break your line of thought. That's why I've not got into it.
Okay.
But when we come back from the break, I'd like you to continue on that thought. But of course, China Television would like to indemnify ourselves from any libelous or defamatory utterances that may have come out of this conversation from anyone whose name has been mentioned. Anyone who has contrary view to what has been said on the program tonight has an open door opportunity to speak their mind. But we'll be back after this break, everyone. Join us again. We're in the home stretch of the program. Professor Olushola Adeyeye has been speaking with us. Former senator, former chief whip of the Nigerian Senate, and a one-time member of the House of Representatives. May I forget that you are also a local government chairman.
Yes, I was.
A long list of what we plan to discuss, but it appears that a lot of issues have now, overtaken that. I'd like you to summarize and conclude on. A lot of Nigerians would like to know how that ended, because when you are mentioning President Tinubu in the same statement with Emefiele, this is the government that is prosecuting that man.
Well, if he commits any crime, he should be prosecuted. I mean, the things that Emefiele did as the election was coming were most unscrupulous. I mean, where in the world does the government of central bank do that kind of thing as the election were coming? Look, let me tell you. What we saw at Babangida's book launch was the establishment of Nigeria incorporating a few new members. I pray to God that Tinubu will never join the establishment, because the establishment has brought us into a bad path, has brought our republic to a bad path. As the election was coming for Buhari, I went to him and I said, Baba, you didn't do anything you promised to do about the report I brought to you on your first day of office. Buhari told me, Prof, if you know what favor you have done this country, you should be given a national award. I said, I don't have to know. You are the president. Give me the national award, since you know what I have done. And I said, but what has happened to the people that I came to report to you? He said he summoned Emefiele. And Emefiele told him far more than he told me. And Emefiele, by the time he finished talking to Buhari, disclosed that whatever amount I was reporting to Buhari was like chicken feed. Because I was only reporting maybe billions of naira. Now they were talking of billions of dollars.
They were being siphoned using the... you said that the man was being extorted.
Yes.
So they were collecting the money directly from CBN. Is that the case? Was that the case?
I wasn't there. I didn't know how they were collecting
But based on what you said, Emefiele told you.
That's what he told me. But what you want to hear is what I'm about to say now. Is that whatever amount those people had extorted amounted to nothing compared with what Emefiele disclosed to President Buhari as the money that had been given to the then National Security Advisor.
Who was that?
Dasuki. And that President Buhari told me that he didn't care how many times the court would rule that he would not release Dasuki, because how could he explain the money that were traced to him? I don't know how security budget is financed. But at that time, what the newspaper reported was about $72 billion. And that amount became the focus of government to retrieve, rather than the chicken feed that I had reported to the president. So, if that's the case, how will I be the one to tell the president?
So the meat of the matter, Prof, was that they were using CBN as a supermarket to siphon money. Was that what Emefiele was reporting to to President Buhari at the time?
I don't know what he reported to him. I was not there.
But
I'm telling you,
part of what he told
I'm telling you that the president told me that whatever amount I came to report to him was nothing in comparison to what Emefiele disclosed to him. And the president said That is the reason he was hell-bent never to release that.
Who are these other politicians that you are trying to protect?
I'm not trying to protect them.
Who are these people?
I will not tell you.
But they are still here, they are politicians.
They are alive.
High-profile politicians in this country.
I don't know. You know, let me tell you about politics. The Yoruba say, go for election, power is transient. When you get there, you get drunk by it. You think your middle name is God. It doesn't take a few years. I mean, where's Babangida today? Where's Buhari today? I mean, when Buhari was president, one Tunde was his nephew or whatever he was in the villa doing whatever he wanted. I took 6 names to President Buhari to recommend for appointment. And I can mention the 6 names. Distinguished Nigerians. It included Temi Harriman. It included General Olagunso Oyinlola. Included a few others. And included the wife of a senator who was offered appointment by President Jonathan. And out of deference for the consideration of our party, whom I think he was selling out, his wife turned down the job. Now, Senator Adetumbi from Ekiti, his wife Bola is the son of my godfather, my spiritual father in the Baptist church, Deacon Adeyeye. So I took his name and said, look, this guy resigned from his appointment just to satisfy the party. Now our party is in government. Find something for his wife. The president said, bring CV. I will do something in the next 1 week. I trust Buhari. I gave the CV. They give the CV to Tunde. I'll give the CV to Tunde. Never surfaced. And I know, by the same token, what? I swallow that.
Well, what do you think? That is the former lawmaker there, Alhaji Adeyeye, coming out and spilling the beans of former leaders of the country, which he was part of. And having said all of that, what is accountability to that? Is there any investigation that will come on board, any arrests, if there's anything like that? Or is it just a matter of showing off that he knows what's going on and he felt like coming out to talk? Is he confessing? Is he changing his life? Is he turning a born again? What is actually the event, or should I say, what actually is going to come out from this? What are we doing, Seth?